I hold XRP ETFs at Fidelity. Are they as good as XRP coins when it comes to price appreciation? Drawbacks other than not my keys, not my coins. I think a lot of people that are holding the bearer asset, XRP, or other crypto tokens will be able to generate yield by participating in institutional DeFi applications by the end of 2026 here. So if you wanted additional cash flow against or off of the XRP, an ETF is not going to be able to do that. There was one dividend paying XRP ETF that pays 3%. I think regular ETFs that are spot, you're only going to see the appreciation. You're not going to get additional cash flow or additional benefits. Now, you can margin those, actually probably at a higher LTV than you can through some of the other lenders that are out there, and maybe even at a better rate than what's available out in the market against the bearer asset today. Over the long term, I think that you'll be able to borrow against the bearer asset at a lower interest rate and a higher LTV than what you'll be able to do on the ETFs. So things change, and today's climate seems like a great allocation if you're just looking for price appreciation. Again, I think that that's probably also, one more tick down the risk curve than holding the actual asset. So like Evernorth is a couple ticks up the risk curve because it's a DAT. An XRP ETF is probably a lower risk option to be able to get an allocation to XRP versus holding the bearer asset itself. Now, less risk, less return, more risk, more return is kind of how that works, right? I think you'll have more flexibility and opportunities to be able to use the XRP to your benefit over the long term, but the ETF is going to give you a one-to-one price appreciation. They hold a certain amount of XRP per share of the ETF. If they have to do a stock split over the long term on the ETF, they could, or they could just tokenize it and people could own 1,000th of a share, later on, like I think they probably will.